Hi.
You hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Oh, you can. Welcome to the Belma show, Irene.
Thank you.
I just want to introduce Irene briefly. As many people know the brand already, but Irene Neuwirth is a LA-based fine jewelry designer who makes beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces of jewelry that are this crazy kaleidoscope of color and gemstones, and it's been called the candy-colored jewelry. Her jewelry has been worn by countless celebrities and red carpets, from Julianne Moore and Julia Roberts and Jennifer Lawrence, all the big A-listers. Each piece is really different and unique, and it really is something special, I feel like, on the red carpet than just the kind of usual big diamondy things we see. So Irene, I've loved your jewelry for so long. I love the use of color. I love the existence of pink in a lot of places. You were the first jewelry brand that we thought of when we wanted to kind of when we decided to go into the fine jewelry segment of the business. So we're really excited to have this, to have you on board, and we are just launching it now ahead of Christmas. So we're really excited. And I first met Irene when she was living here a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
I think, how long did you live in London for, Irene?
I was only there. I mean, I wasn't even living there, is like kind of not even a real thing. I was there back and forth for a year and a half.
Okay. And
yeah.
what area did you live in?
We were in Notting Hill. My boyfriend was there filming a movie, and I was there being supportive. Enjoying myself for a minute.
And what did you do in London? Did you have any particular kind of hangouts or cafes that you like to do?
I brought my dog with me, and I walked through every park and every street. Like literally all I did was wake up and like hit the pavement, go to every single museum and gallery and walk in every park. It was a dream. It was so lovely.
So I remember your dog, and I think when I first met you, we kind of connected over the labradoodle thing that we had in common. I have a 9-year-old labradoodle called Pasquale.
So cute.
And he pretty much looks like yours from what I can remember, but you have 3 now.
I do. I have one puppy that's laying at my feet. Do you want to meet him? He's so cute. His name's Ernesto.
And are all your dogs labradoodles?
Yes.
Oh,
this one is extra
adorable. I've not seen that color mix, actually. It's always like the white or the golden or the kind of
his water ball, so that's awesome.
And he's your 3rd baby?
He's my 3rd baby. I have Ernesto, Miguel, and Teddy.
So what do you love about labradoodles? Why are you Teddy's to that?
The best I've ever had, and he is so human-like. I feel like, they're so intelligent and sensitive. I mean, this is so embarrassing. I called my dad the other day. I was like, the only people I want to hang out with are my dogs. He's like, they're not people. I'm like, to me, they are. So I really got the other 2 just because I'm like fearful of one day Teddy not being around, and I needed to like love another dog. So now I have 3.
So your passions are jewelry, interiors, dogs, horses,
art, clothes.
That's your art, and you're a painter yourself, and you have been, right, for a long time.
I mean, yes. I enjoy collecting art, and I really love beautiful clothing, and I love to travel, and people always joke around that like every part of my life sort of looks like my jewelry. Like my house looks like my jewelry, my car looks like my jewelry, like our stores really look, everything kind of strongly resembles me, I guess.
And when you say all of this stuff looks like my jewelry, what is that?
I guess it's more, it really looks like me. I think I've always, since I was a little girl, had a really strong aesthetic. So I've always loved mixing colors and patterns. My mom's an amazing painter, and I've just always been really interested in color. So my store is like whimsical. I think that as a person, like a pretty approachable person, down to earth, and the jewelry really comes off as something that like you can touch, try on. I never wanted it to be this like pretentious thing. I wanted like young girls to be able to like dream of one day owning a piece and like feel like that was something that could happen. You know, like when we opened our store, I walked down the streets in Beverly Hills and I was like, you know what, I never really go into any of the fine jewelry stores. I always felt sort of intimidated. And I walked down Rodeo Drive, and outside of Harry Winston, there were all of these men in tuxedos holding trays with champagne. And I was like, how do I create the antithesis of that? So, you know, I wanted my store to be feminine and playful, and I wanted people to feel comfortable coming in. Like, I guess that sort of like was a wonderful thing. And then, you know, now we have certain people we can't get to leave. But that is ultimately a wonderful thing too. But I just feel like the colors in the store, we have this like beautiful velvet pink couch and my mom's painting in there. And the way that the jewelry is displayed is really whimsical. We have these paintings of animals. My dog is painted in there. And we have a kitchen in our store, so people come in and we like cook food all day long. I don't know, I just think it all kind of is really like on brand with me.
But it's quite a new concept to have this personal touch and this personal story for a fine jeweler. I feel like maybe I can't think of many other brands where you kind of where the, you know, the creative director's personality and life story and life interests really translate through, which is quite. And how long ago did you start the business?
Like 18 years ago, a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it wasn't something that we like tried to achieve. It's like very authentic to me and the brand. And so that was sort of the only way that was going to happen for me, you know. And like for years I traveled, I did every single trunk show. I mean, up until last year. And like, I love meeting the clients. It's like a really personal thing for me, you know, like we know, you know, I've traveled all over the world with our jewelry, and I know a lot of the clients personally. I've traveled on vacation with a lot of them. You know, we talk on Instagram, we talk on email, we talk on the phone. I don't know, it's not about like a sale, like a one-time sale. Like I really want people to become collectors and feel like they've invested in something valuable and forever, you know, something that they can pass down to their children.
And do you think, I mean, you know, I've gathered various opinions about how people shop for jewelry, and I know how I shop myself. And, you know, there has been this notion of, you know, value is somehow seen in a big diamond or in something that will, you know, last you forever, and it's not going to go out of trend and out of style. And that's what you should be spending big money on, where the rest is, you know, the more, let's say, artistic stuff is more fashiony, and you know you're still spending a lot of money on it, but will it be in style, won't it, you know? And I feel like many jewelry brands today really challenge that notion of what is value, whether it's just the pure tangible stone or the design, and the intangible that you cannot really you know put an actual, you know, a specific value on, just like with art and artists. You know, when you actually think about it, how much does it cost to get a canvas and some paint?
Right.
Not much, but that idea and that design and that concept costs a lot.
For sure. I think for us, that's also always been an authentic part of our brand, is that like I find value in things that are imperfect, and you know, I enjoy some of the imperfections in the stone, and I think it's interesting to mix like diamonds with lapis or turquoise, or, you know, I think that's actually in a way what makes it more valuable, is like how unusual and personal and risky it is. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I always think of this story, like it's one of the reasons why I design jewelry. But I was having my makeup done for the CFDA Awards, of all things, which seems like such a crazy thing now. and this young girl was doing my makeup and she was adorable and she was talking. I was like, oh, I like your little heart necklace. It was like a little trinket, you know, and she said, oh, my mom gave this to me when I was 7 and I never take it off. And then she was like, oh, and my dad gave me these earrings when I graduated college. And like, this ring is the first ring I bought myself at Tiffany when I like had my first job and my first paycheck. And I was like, that's so cool that jewelry tells a story and gets passed down, and that, like, you know, like for me the most valuable piece, which of course is like a terrible ending because it got stolen out of my house, but my mom wore it when I was born. My dad gave my mom this like long gold pocket watch. It was like a Chopard pocket watch. You would never like look at it and be like, that is the most valuable piece of jewelry, but just like the meaning that it held was so important to me.
It's so annoying when that stuff gets stolen because it's not even that valuable and it's so valuable to someone. And it's just like, out of all the things you could have taken out of my house, you took like, you know, so
I'm serious. I look on eBay all the time. I'm like, one day it'll turn up somewhere.
I'm sorry. It's really
anyway
annoying. Speaking of awards, by the way, Irene, you did win an Oscar for Best Jewelry Designer. Right? Just a little plug.
Yeah.
Just FYI.
No.
But so who you know, speaking of how unique and bold and kind of risk, you know, you'd have to you know, you feel like it's a risky maneuver to kind of go down you know, a path of trying something new and unique and bold in your jewelry choices. Who do you feel like is the woman who is your perfect client, or who do you think are your kind of
that's such a hard thing to answer because through the years I've really noticed that it appeals to all different types of people, men and women. And I think for me it's usually somebody who, the thing that I find the most interesting and the most inspiring is it's a lot of women buying it for themselves, which is really cool. And I think it's like their way of expressing their creativity by wearing my jewelry. So that's always been really interesting. I think it's someone who enjoys color and likes to take a risk, but not too big of a risk. I don't know. I that's a hard one for me to answer. Sorry.
I mean, we think risk taking is a good thing. I mean, that's what Koibert is all about.
Yeah.
It's color and being unique and discovering new things that are only going to be kind of unique to you and how you put it together. So we, you know, we would say that risk taking in your shopping choices is a great thing.
Yeah.
And we kind of encourage our clients to think more along those lines and think more about, you know, what can you wear and how can you put it together that's not the same as everyone else. So yeah. And funny about you saying how women buy it for themselves. I mean, I have to say nowadays I don't know many friends or myself who lets their husbands buy them stuff.
I know.
I think last Christmas I got something from my husband and he really took the plunge and did something on his own. And I opened it up and it was really nice. It was a really fun, like a watch. Yeah. And I opened it up and I was like, oh, this is really nice. I love it. Do you have the receipt? Is it returnable?
I know.
Okay. So I said, you know, not to buy me stuff, you know, you know, unless you're really, really sure, but it's, you know, so, and you love opal. I'm wearing a lot of, look, I told Irene before we started that I'm basically dressed as one of her pieces. I'm wearing this beautiful pink opal and pearl flowers.
So I mean, I've always had kind of a love affair with opals just because they look like the bottom of the sea sort of, and they're really like dimensional and they pull out all different colors. So if you put it on, it'll pull out like reds and pinks and mint green and blue, and they're just really fun to work with.
But the opal that you use like for the pinks, it's quite milky and kind of.
That's actually, yeah, it's like a milky opaque pink.
It's different than the one that changes color because we've got both. I mean, we've ordered sets of jewelry in both. Yeah, so but I like how the pink one is just
I know, I like it like kind of obnoxiously like bubblegum pink in a like great way, and I think that like when you put it on it feels so like feminine and brightens everything up. It's really nice.
And so you like pink, I take it?
I like all colors. I don't like all colors, but I like color, but in general.
And so, you know, this is a debate we have at Koibert a lot because we're kind of we're known to be a bit of a pink brand. That's how we started. We opened our first beach store and it was this big kind of pink de Chirico Marguerite but pink, for betrayer. And there's always this discussion between, is pink too girly, or is it strong, or is it bright, or is it, and I think we think it's both feminine and really strong. I think a woman who can wear pink in the right way is a really cool woman, and not making it too girly. But so yeah, obviously your jewelry as well, it is very feminine, and there is a lot of pink in it. But then you've got the giant exaggerated hearts, which is pretty badass to put a huge pink heart on. So there's this kind of balance between I'm pink and pretty and feminine with I'm really cool and contemporary, strong. So would you agree with that? Is that how you kind of look at your pink pieces as well?
Yeah, I'm on board.
Yeah. You once said that you decorated your house to look like the inside of your brain. I think that was a New York Times article that I read. So what is that like, Irene? What is the inside of your brain? I mean, we get a little bit of a hint by just looking at how varied jewelry is. But yeah.
I love things from my childhood. I love things that are modern. I like a mixture of everything that has like no rules, sort of. I feel like my jewelry is also that way, like mixing things that are like very semi-precious with the most precious stones. And my house is very much like that as well. We actually just moved during COVID.
Oh, okay.
To a really incredible place.
So it's not that house in Venice that you did.
No, but that. I mean, we still have a house. We just moved like 2 months ago.
Okay.
We rented a house and then bought the house across the street. It's like the most, it feels so crazy. We kind of like never went home again. But decorating that house has been really fun because I feel like it was like a whole new refresh button push. Like I have this beautiful like Eve Klein table that I had in Venice that we brought over that has all that blue pigment, and then mixed it with like these beautiful boucle couch with like yellow and mint green pillows. And it's just like everything is very color mixed. I love having like high with low. And that's sort of, I've always been that way. So that's what I meant when I was like, it's sort of like the inside of my brain. Like I have all of these like quirky things with like some of the finest art, and we have just really interesting color combinations and whimsical and sophisticated, but also approachable, comfortable.
Which, I would describe your jewelry like that. So that's spot on. How do you come up? Well, you have so many different motifs in your line from, and maybe it sounds like a little bit like your house. Like, you've got your love of horses, and you've got horse-shaped jewelry. You have donkeys too, don't you? Donkeys?
No, those horses.
Are those horses that are kind of cradling the heart? They're really cute. And you do enamel pendants of doggies that are really cute. Then there are bows, there are flowers, there are hearts. There's so many different motifs. So which is what's super fun, and it kind of lends itself to this discovery, path of discovery that I was talking about earlier. So how do you come up with them, and what does your design process look like?
I would say my biggest challenge is that like I could design all day long. Like I have to be stopped, and I need, like my team is really great at helping me like put things, they're like, we have enough. Like for me, I could design endlessly, I guess, which is like a wonderful problem, but and I could go like very whimsical, which is also like sometimes I have to be like brought back a little bit. But for me, the design process, it really used to be like sorting out stones. We would buy a lot of stones, and I would kind of lay them out until things felt perfectly balanced, but also like a little off, but like very balanced and thoughtful at the same time. And now I've gotten back into drawing and painting, which has been really wonderful, and like kind of creating the piece that way and then cutting the stones from that. So it's sort of a mixture.
And how do you, obviously it's hard to, you can paint something amazing, but then it's hard to translate that into a stone. Like, even when you started with your—
really wonderful relationship with the jewelers who are making my jewelry, and also the people who are cutting our stones. We cut things in Eder Oberstein in Germany. and they're meticulous. So I'll draw something out exactly how I want it cut, and then they'll cut it for us. So I feel like it's sort of surrounding myself with like really incredible artisans, an incredible team here. It's really not just me in that sense. I mean, I'm definitely the one designing everything, but we have like an amazing team of people who are selling it, helping me organize it, you know, giving me feedback and cutting the stones, all of it. So
because the flowers, I mean, they have all the little grooves and all the little petals. I remember we didn't order the big strawberries, but I remember the strawberries having all the little grooves. I mean, it's really quite detailed. Is opal a hard stone or a softer?
No,
like
very soft.
Okay.
Pink opal, not soft, but Australian, the lightning ridge opal with like all the crazy
shiny
plain color, those are soft.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like I wear this. This is an opal. I wear it every single day. I never take it off. So I'm very superstitious about it, and I'm definitely not taking it off until our election is over. Not that we want to get into that.
So you shower with it, everything with it, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And fashion, you love. Is that a vintage YSL top?
This? No.
It looks like it.
My friend Erin Beatty created such a cute line, and I'm called Rent Riage. And do you know it?
No. What's it called?
It's RENTRYAGE, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. She used to be the creative director at Suno like forever ago. And she did really cute like vintage pieces kind of put together. You'll like them. They're gorgeous.
What would you say what fashion do you like? What fashion designers, or what's your look? Is it kind of a very California?
I like anything with a waist. I have a very tiny waist, the one extra small part of my body. And I love dresses. Anything like T-length. I love a lot of vintage. And I don't know, again, anything with color. I kind of go through phases of things that I love.
Yeah, California is big. I mean, California has amazing vintage stores. You guys are lucky that way. So I don't think I've met anyone in California that doesn't mix vintage into their
Really?
vintage. Yeah, I mean, it's quite a big. And what's the what's the artist behind you?
This is from my mom. This is a friend of my mom's. He's no longer alive, but his name's Marty Lubner. It's really cool. There's a big apple on the pencil. But this is so you don't see the rest of my office, which is bustling.
And so who are some of your favorite artists? Can you share any, like either names or something?
Well, my mom is the most incredible painter. Her name is Irene Neuwirth. She has amazing, amazing, amazing color sense. And one of my all-time favorites is Mary Weatherford. She has an exhibit right now at David Gordiansky Gallery here. She's really prolific and incredible. And Aaron Morse, who he painted a lot of our mirrors in our store. And I don't know, I could like go on and on. I really enjoy art. Yeah.
And shame that obviously the travel thing, we would have loved to have you over and have to do.
I know, one day.
Yeah, we have planned an Instagram with you just to go over some of the pieces.
Yeah.
Instagram live, just to show people some of the pieces and have you talk us through a couple of them. And so we're going to do that as well. And yeah, we'll take it from there. And we're just so excited. So Irene, thank you so much. These are my other personal favorites.
I know, I love those too.
I was actually
so beautiful. You really love pink.
I do really love pink. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for chatting with us. And we'll speak soon and go over some of the jewels.
Okay, that sounds great.
Thank you, Irene.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.